10 reasons the Bible is hard to understand. I'm convinced that this book right here is the most difficult book you will ever engage in reading. And I think there's a lot of people who get stuck in the Bible because it really is a challenging book. And that's authentically true about this book. Here's 10 reasons why I think this is a hard book. This is the hardest book that you're ever going to read. Reason number one, the book is not written in chronological order. It's not written in chronological order. You guys know that? You don't start at the beginning and go to the end and have it read like a story, like a Harry Potter book. Instead, it is chopped up in different order. And it kind of gives you a head fake as well, because Genesis really is the beginning and Revelation really is the end. And you might think that in between it would all be in order, but it's not. It's in a mixed up order. That makes it hard to read. Second reason is that it was written by over 30 authors. Different kinds of people, from paupers to kings, people in all different kinds of locations, uneducated, highly educated. Third reason is it was written in 3 languages. Most of the Old Testament was written in Hebrew. Most of the New Testament was written in Greek. And then in both, there's a smattering of Aramaic that's in the middle of those. How many of you guys speak all 3 of those languages? Yeah, it makes it hard for us to be able to read. Fourth reason, it was written somewhere between 2,000 and 3,400 years ago, over a broad span of time. There's just a huge gap in culture and context to be able to understand what the authors meant because they came from a different time than us. Number 5, it was written from all over the world. Like, it's written from so many different places that I think we have to have a map to understand it all. You guys are easy to please. So we got books that were written in Rome and Nicopolis and Corinth. Revelation was written from this obscure island called Patmos. 5 books were written in Ephesus. Israel, obviously, like 29 books were written in Israel. 1 from Antioch. 2, Ezekiel and Daniel, were written from Babylon. Persia, the book of Esther, comes all the way from modern-day Iran, from old school Persia. Then you've got some, like you've got part of Exodus that was written in Egypt. You got 5 books, the first 5 books of the Old Testament that were written in the wilderness. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy were all written while wandering in the wilderness. 1 from Edom, and 1 that nobody knows where it was written from. The book of Job was written when Job was in Uz, but nobody knows where Uz was. No, rhyme with me, my friends. Let's try that again. Nobody knows where Uz was. Thank you. Oh, I got to work on you. So it's difficult because it's written from all these different locations in a time a long, long ago, and each one has its own particular context. Number 6, it messes with you. You read the Bible, it's going to mess with you. You're not supposed to read the Bible and come away the same. Your thinking should be challenged. You read the Bible and it reads you. You find out that you don't agree with God on everything, and all of a sudden your soul gets mixed up and you realize there's some changing that needs to happen inside of me, and if you're not ready for change, the Bible can be a big threat to your thinking. Number 7, it has many layers of meaning. Many layers of meaning. So you can read it the first time and you'll just get a first layer understanding of it. You'll come back later and there will be another layer and more connections and more depth and more theology. But your first time reading through, it's hard because there's no way you can get all of the depths of the layers of meaning that's there. Number 8, there are many types of literature inside one book. So we've got 66 books combined into one, all different kinds of literature. You've got history, poetry, census, gospel, prophetic, wisdom literature, and more. And each literature has different rules of how to interpret that kind of literature, which means you go to a different book and you need to have different skills to be able to read that book well. It makes the Bible hard to read. Number 9, there are boring parts. How many of you guys have ever read the Bible and experienced a boring part of the Bible? Yeah, I mean, there's places where there's censuses, there's like sacrifice rules, there's 10 chapters on how to build the tabernacle. There's names that you can't pronounce like Mephibosheth and Jeconiah, and the longest name in the Bible, Isaiah's son, Maher-shalal-Hashbaz, which I don't even know if I said that name right. But the truth is there's stuff we don't understand and stuff that's downright boring as you read through the Bible. And then the last reason is it's long. Like, this is not just a quickie overnight read. This is a long book. 66 books, 1,189 chapters, 31,103 verses, and 807,361 words. That's the Bible. So it takes a long time to read it as well. So that tells you why this book is the hardest book you will ever study. But also in life, things that are hard are things that are good. Amen? There's nothing that's ever good, really deeply good, that comes easily to you. It takes work to get better and better at this.